Welcome to another edition of the G League Rundown. As always, we have Cardell Dudley Jr., Raymond Lyons, Wilson Tarbe Jr. once again. Welcome to the G League Rundown. We do this every Wednesday and Friday, following the Actions G League games to give you guys quick updates. Where we're going to start this week, as we always do, is just what happened in today's action. On the docket today in the G League, we had the Fort Wayne Mad Ants edged out the Agua Caliente Clippers 109-108. The Delaware Bluecoats fell to the Lakeland Magic 115-107. Salt Lake City Stars beat G League Ignite 107-87. The Austin Spurs beat Oklahoma City Blue 109-106. And for the two late games, both one just hit halftime. Rio Grande Vipers leading the Canton Charge 65-49. And the other has 3:44 left in the first half. It's a tight one there. It's Greensboro Swarm leading Raptors 905 56 to 55. As for the standings this week, there's one team I don't think anything changed. I'm keep holding out hope, but they continue to let me down. Erie Bayhawks 8-2. Austin Spurs are 8-3. Delaware Bluecoats and the Santa Cruz Warriors are 7-3, along with Oklahoma City Blue. Raptors 905 are currently 6-3. Two teams at 6-4 in the Westchester Knicks and the G League Ignite. Lakeland Magic at 5-5. 5-6 are the Fort Wayne Mad Ants. They're in the midst of a 2-game win streak. Canton Charge and Greensboro Swarm are both 4-5. Both of them coming off wins. Rio Grande Valley Vipers, Long Island Nets are also 4-6. The Memphis Hustle 3-7, along with the Agua Caliente Clippers. At 3-8, we have the Salt Lake City Stars. They're coming off a win. And then the good old Iowa Wolves bringing up the rear at 0-10. I'm going to need one of these days. Y'all got to give me a win, man. It's getting bad. I keep scrolling down. It's on me. I keep expecting something to change. And at least you're consistent, I guess.
See, I love the optimism because for the NBA, you don't bring that same type of optimism. You're very pessimistic on NBA level. I love the hope for the G League, man. You see, man, you growing. I feel you. I appreciate you growing, man.
Well, you know what? That's fine, and that's fair. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna continue to be mature here and get on to the standout players. Ray, you can start this week, and then Cardell, you follow. But what you got? Who's leading off your standout players for today in the G League Rundown?
Shoot, I'm gonna start off with Kevin Porter Jr. Man, he been putting in work. He torched the best team in the G League yesterday. The Erie Bayhawks, pretty sure we'll get into that later, but had a triple-double, 27 points, 11 rebounds, 14 assists. And he just been looking sharp and ready to play recently. He acted in full tonight. He got 18, 6, and 4 at the half. You know, he's just doing everything, man. Scoring, playing defense, finding his teammates, setting the table. Man, he just contributing in every way you can imagine on the basketball court. Next player is David Stockton, man. Had a pretty huge game yesterday, albeit in a loss. 33 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. I think this was his first really explosive scoring night. Prior to this, he's just been, kind of facilitating and running the show. But it's good to, to show he has that ability to score in volume like that. That's the name of the game in the NBA right now from the point guard position. You're going to have to be able to put up points, and he had a hot night. Then moving on to Kevin Porter Jr.'s teammate, Anthony Lamb. He was part of that big win over Erie, had 32 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and a block. Also made 2 threes, just showing his versatility, doing the work on the inside. Man, it's just, just performing, man, and showing like I said with Stockton, showing that well-rounded skill set. He's doing the same. You see right here, gets the ball to the 3-point line and beats his man off the dribble. But he's he's hitting the glass and he's doing work inside as well, and also showing range on the jump shot. So yeah, man, I'm pretty sure teams up top gonna have their eyes on him if he continues to perform this way.
All right, Cardell, for you, players that stood out.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with a local product, Traveling Queen for the Rio Grande Vipers. He had 29 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 steals on 12 of 16 shooting from the field, 5 of 7 shooting from 3-point range, and 0 turnovers in that big comeback win over the Bayhawks. I'm especially a fan of his because he kind of came on the scene at PG years back. That's when I first noticed him, and a lot of what you're seeing now, he showed flashes of that then. Obviously, he was a bit more raw. He was smaller, shorter. He grew a couple inches in college, and his game matured. Where now it's just blossoming. I always was a fan. I root for JUCO guys anyway because I know how hard it is to come out that level personally. I know it's a grind, especially just to endure that and make something happen where you can get to the next level. And for him to keep trucking along, especially with his journey involved, yes, he started at PG, but then they ruled him ineligible. So he had to sit out a year. Then he had to transfer to another JUCO, try to do his thing over there. That didn't work out. Somehow he showed enough in those few games he played where he got picked. He committed to Western Kentucky. That didn't work out, so he went to another JUCO for another year. Did his thing, killed. Then he got picked up by New Mexico State, and the rest is history. He did his thing there. Got signed as an undrafted rookie in last year's draft by the Rockets, and they got him down to G League, giving him some more season to show that he belongs in the 82-game show. And for him to endure all that adversity and still be one step from the league in a sense, I ain't even gonna say one step. You got your foot in the league door, so to speak, like half a step. Because all you gotta do is be consistent here, and you're gonna get your shot. Especially with the way Houston's playing right now, they're not playing well. So if they don't turn it around soon, they're gonna be looking to see what these young guys can do up there real soon. And obviously they brought in Kevin Porter, who was just with the Cavs last year. So just think about what's going on in practice every day. You're going against a guy like that, you know what I'm saying, who actually play in the league. But for him to just endure all that and still make it to the NBA level of some sorts, that just shows how not just how talented he is, but how tough he is, and how much of a dog he is, man. So, and he was a big reason why they came back on the Bayhawks. The Bayhawks had the lead; they was up 17 early in the second quarter. Then the Vipers went on a 17-0 run. He scored 10 of those points by himself, and it was a wrap, man. He's a bit raw. He has the skill and athleticism, the size, and all that. All he need to do is just get a little bit more experience and be consistent. Because this year he's been up and down. Once he's consistent, it's a wrap. Because he's the prototype. He's what the NBA loves now. Because he can shoot the hell out the ball and he can score, and he's sneaky athletic, as you just seen in the clip. He can windmill. He was windmilling on those guys and everything. Like you said, this is the best team in the G League. You just don't do that to them. They usually do that to the other guys. So that was a very impressive performance. I'm not going to stay on Kevin Porter too long. Raymond summed it up perfectly. Triple-double. For him to be 6'4", 6'5", and doing all that is special. But he has a 6'9" wingspan. With the sick athleticism that he has. We all know he's an NBA player, and I just think teams are waiting to see if he's matured, from what happened in Cleveland before they give him another shot. So in a sense, he's kind of like in detention. We're gonna see what you do with it. You know what I'm saying? For acting up. Where his talent speaks for itself, and like we're saying, it's more than a few teams in NBA level that can use his talent right now. And the Wizards are playing against one tomorrow, so. We're going to see what happens with that. And also, we're going to talk more on it, Jalen Green. He's a projected top 5 pick for a reason. And, he had a game despite everything going wrong that could possibly go wrong for the Ignite. We're going to touch on that, like everything. But the fact that he kept competing and kept trying to carry the team at that young of an age at a pro level, it just spoke volumes, man. He was the one player that did anything for the Ignite, which we're going to get to. He had 24 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, and 8 of 15 shooting. Normally, young players, when things ain't going right, we see it all the time. At AU high school, they start pouting and blah, blah, blah. He just kept coming. He just kept fighting until it hit 0. And that right there showed me more than anything, all right, cool, he's built. He's built for it. You know what I mean? Because if you're a top 5 pick, more than likely, you're going to a bad team. There's going to be a lot of nights like that, unless you got some young talent ready to emerge. So you're gonna have to keep that poise and keep that toughness and keep coming with it. That's what being a pro is all about. And he displayed that he's starting to figure that out. In the game last night. So kudos to him.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead, and it's a great way to segue to the two teams. Share a little bit more in-depth notes on being the Ignite. Cardell, you can start this one off, then Ray, then with the Bayhawks. Ray, you can start that. So with the Ignite, Cardell, where you want to start?
They fell 107-87 to the Salt Lake City Stars. The Ignite were ice cold from the field, especially from deep. They only shot 5 for 26 from three-point range. But Salt Lake shot 38% from deep. And to me, that was one of the three things that gave them the game. They won the game for Salt Lake City. Also, Salt Lake forced 20 turnovers, 12 of them being steals. And then Salt Lake outscored the Ignite's bench 45-30. When you turning the ball over like that, your bench is outperforming the other bench. And on top of that, pretty much everybody, especially the starters, were ice cold. It's hard to win, man. Like I said, the only bright spot for the Ignite was Jalen Green. And that's why I was just impressed because, like I said, young players, when I mean nothing was going right for the Ignite, nothing was going right. I don't think no one else scored more than 10 points on that team in that loss. And that was Kuminga. So that tells you what it was. They were ice cold, and they were George Gervin out there for real. And he just kept coming. He just kept coming, kept competing, both ends, trying to be that spark, man. And he got dog in him, because he could have easily just said, man, tapped out, get his numbers, let's get ready for the next game. But he stayed strong, so I was thoroughly impressed. But rookie forward Tyler Bay led the way for the City Stars with 17 points and 8 rebounds. Well, Trevon Blewett and Malcolm Miller both added 16 points for the City Stars in the balanced attack, man. They didn't really have to play outstanding. No one really had to play outstanding because the Ignite helped them. They couldn't throw the rock in the ocean. Simple as that.
Right.
Yeah, man, it was just one of those games for them. And like Cardell said, Jalen Green was the only bright spot, but he was impressive even in the 20-point loss. He didn't stop, and he, like that's one of those things where, if you don't know what the score is, you really kind of can't tell that they down 20 by the way he was playing, so yeah, man, kudos to him, especially being a young guy and able to to be composed and that level headed, while you getting smacked. I mean, it's tough. It's tough to continue to push and fight in the midst of a game like that. But yeah, Kuminga had a rough one. Pretty much everybody except Jalen Green had a rough night. Then they just taking their lumps, man, and that's what this was created for. I don't think anybody expected them to run through the G League and go undefeated. It's a training process and proving ground just to get them acclimated and just to give them a taste of what they'll possibly be enduring the following season. So yeah, man, it's a learning experience. I'm pretty sure they take notes and going to absorb everything and try to bounce back. Just like from the nights where they have good games. They take what they can from that, apply it, and move on. So yeah, man, I don't think there's ever going to be a time where it's gloom and doom for this group because it's basically just it's really just a full season of preseason, so to speak, just to get them ready. So yeah, man, this is one that they'll just don't dwell on it and come out and try to get the next one.
Well, it can't possibly be gloom and doom because the Wolves are showing us what gloom and doom are. So they've already exceeded their expectations for the year.
He was doing good, dog. See?
Moving on to the Bayhawks.
Man, they got a taste of their own medicine. Honestly, they're typically the ones that kind of overwhelm you with a multifaceted and balanced attack, and that's what Rio Grande did to them. I think we talked about their three main guys earlier: Kevin Porter Jr., Anthony Lamb, and Traveling Queen. They was lights out, and they just went to work, man. And sometimes it's not gonna be anything you could do. The other team is just gonna be on fire, and that's what happened. but the Bayhawks, they got out, like Cardell said, they jumped out to a lead, but then that switch flip, and it was a wrap from there. And it's difficult to kind of bounce back from an onslaught like that. Even with a team with the experience and talent of the Bayhawks, they just ran into a buzzsaw. And that's typically what they're doing to teams. They're the ones that find a way to win at any cost, or they're usually blowing somebody out. But yeah, man, they just had to look in the mirror last night, because that was a very Bayhawks like performance from Rio Grande.
Cardo.
Yeah, they got him, but we also got to keep in mind that Jordan Bell and Gerard, they didn't play. They might be the best tandem as far as in the front court in the G League right now. So that they got a night off or whatnot, well deserved. They've been hooping. They've been going at it. So they ain't really faced the full Bayhawks, but still, you got to face who suits up, and they got the job done. Like Raymond said, that 3-guard trio was just nasty. They couldn't miss it. They wanted to. It was just look. They scored as a trio. They scored 88 of the Vipers, 124 points. They had 19 of the Vipers, 31 assists, and they had 26 of the Vipers, 47 rebounds, and they shot combined 35 of 59 from the field. You can't get no better than that, dog. Like, it ain't nothing you can do with that, man. Those three players alone, Trevor McQueen, Kevin Porter, and Anthony Lamb. I mean, that's game right there, dog. That was good enough to win the game right there from 3 players. So it is what it is, man. It was similar to what we saw the other night with the Wizards and the Clippers. Them boys just came out, and like I said, the Bayhawks were up. Midway through the second quarter, they were up 17. And then Trevor McQueen got going, bombed up with a few threes, and they cut the lead. They got the lead going in the half, and it never ended. Kevin Porter with a triple-double, Lamb with 32. What more can you say, man? Justin Wright Foreman, he had a good game, a great game, actually. 28 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists on 11 to 18 shooting, 6-11 from 3. Najee Marshall posted 24 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Former Eleanor Roosevelt standout, DC Premier. Caleb Holmesley, he had 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 7-11 shooting. And Cassius Winston, we got to keep up with the Wizards guys. He had 17 points, 7 assists, and 2 steals on 7 of 13 shooting. But when another team is just blitzing you like that from outside, they just torch you, and ain't nothing you can do, man. Because you're going to have to get stopped sooner or later, and they couldn't stop them. So their shooting didn't mean nothing. And that's a perfect example of, if you don't play defense, that's what eventually is going to happen more times than not, because you're going to run up against a team that's going to get comfortable, have more offensive firepower, and they're going to light you up. And what you do offensively ain't going to mean anything. Look, they had guys that were highly efficient from all over the floor, and they pretty much still lost by, dang near dub. So it is what it is. They're back to the drawing board, get their full team back, and see if they can continue to win.
Man, I'm still trying to go back over that line you mentioned about the 3 of them and the type of damage they did. That's ridiculous.
I don't even know what to say, champ. Ain't no scout report for that.
Not at all.
That scout report say good luck. That's what that is.
Man. What I'm saying? It's a couple of scores. Once they get going like that, there's no turning that water off. When it's multiple, it's not just one, it's a couple of them. So you got 3 folks that need 2 sets of eyes, only 5 people on the court, just trouble. They all rolling, just trouble. All right, the last segment we have here is called On the Verge, which is letting you guys, again, it's literally what the name dictates. It's who is on the verge of being called up or should be called up for teams that, are going through it or need it, or we're literally at the halfway point of this compressed NBA season. Some of these folks are going to be starting to be called up more often than not. Some teams are realizing what they either don't have currently on their roster or what they will be looking for next year, and you might as well start the audition process to a degree. So whoever want to start, whichever one of you guys wants to start with this week's On the Verge for this edition of the G League Rundown.
Mine ain't too complicated. I'm going with Kevin Porter Jr. again. The work speaks for itself. And like Cardell said, he already got NBA experience. And he's just, he's in detention. So he almost got time served, man. So it's only a matter of time at this point because he's what he's doing on the court is just it's obvious that that he has a talent to play at the next level, which he already showed because he was there. So yeah, man, you just gotta continue to show his maturity and not prove to be an issue off the court, and he'll find himself on the NBA team sooner rather than later.
Cardell?
Same. Kevin Porter Jr. It's like he near a triple double every game. It's easy, man. He making it look real easy. You know what I'm saying? So, and you gotta also keep in mind, he wasn't in the G League at the beginning, because all that stuff kind of happened when the G League first started. So he just came in, he was working out, and he got traded to Houston, and they're like, go down there and get your reps, and he just cooking. Like every time I look up, like, God damn, dog, like it's chalk outlines everywhere, dog. He making it look easy, son. So definitely him and Jalen Green. He's already was projected to be a top 5 pick coming out of high school, so he's just added to it. Like that type of game, I think no NBA scouts, I think that impresses them more because there was so much adversity, but yet you still fought. That's the thing with young players, where you still fight and still be coachable, still be able to play and function, make an impact, and find ways to make an impact. And he showed that. He just have to continue to show that. So those two definitely jump out. I know people here might say, what about Trevlin? He's been up and down. So, but if you put a string of games where like he did yesterday, for sure. You know what I'm saying? We can discuss that.
All right. If you guys have nothing else to add, I want to close this. This is the second edition of the G League Rundown this week. We will see you guys next Wednesday again for the round robin version G League Rundown again every Wednesday and Friday. G League Rundown. Tomorrow night we'll be back after the Wizards games. You'll see us tomorrow night and Sunday night. Wizards got a back-to-back. Just came off the West Coast road trip, so we'll see you Saturday and Sunday night following the conclusion of the Wizards games for Wizards Outlook, and then a little bit of a break, and then Tuesday, the Focus TV always 8 p.m. I don't even want to look at the calendar on my phone before I'm scared to see that there's a Wizards game right after we get off that show. I don't want to be hurt already. Go ahead, Cardell.
When is All-Star break? That's what I want to know. I know it's coming up. I'm like you. I don't want to look too far ahead because it's stressful. There's so many games. I'll be forgetting the days. I'm just one day at a time, dog. But when is All-Star break? So we can get a break, dog. God.
I don't know, but I bet you it's gonna go by like this.
Right.
I hate to be that person, but it's not gonna feel like a break. Dog. It's not. It's gonna feel like a deep breath, just back-to-backs. You saw some of the second half schedule already. Man, I want to sim through March and just get to April. April's like a single digit number of games. That sounds great. March is not single digit.
But at least, the G League season will be concluded by then. So
this is true.
That's the thing. So we'll have a couple more days back.
This is very true. But you guys have a good night. Thank y'all as always for tuning in. Don't forget, follow the Focus TV on your social media mediums. See you guys soon.